Good afternoon. I know time is short, Stuart, so I'll try to be quick. My name is Brett Makens. I'm representing the Novo Nordisk Foundation, or NNF, as it's commonly called, at least in Denmark, and we hope at one point will also be known in that way here in the United States. I'm going to give you, I'm going to try to do it quickly, a sense of what the foundation is and how the foundation is contributing in quantum and AI, and really trying to drive breakthroughs in scientific discoveries around life sciences. So to set the table, it's important to give a little context for what NNF is. So NNF is actually a 100-year-old foundation. It was founded by a Nobel Prize winner, not Niels Bohr, August Crow. It's an interesting story. I don't have time to tell it today. But what is different about NNF and Danish foundations in general is they're called enterprise foundations. So they're structured quite differently in that the foundation is actually the owner of the companies. So through for the Novo Nordisk Foundation, it's through an investment company called Novo Holdings. So NNF owns Novo Nordisk, Novo Nordisk, and 170 other companies. And it's the dividends from those companies that allow NNF to do its philanthropic focus, which is both in terms of giving money and giving grants. And just to give you a sense of where we're at in 2023, NNF gave out about 1.4 billion US. So it's a foundation that's grown quite a bit over the last couple of years. What else has changed about the foundation is its vision and its strategic goals. So if you look on the right, this comes from the charter for when it was founded. But here on the left is the vision of NNF, which is to improve people's health and the sustainability of society and the planet. So a much broader vision than what it started out as. And as part of the NNF expanding how it sees itself and how it sees the world and the challenges it wants to tackle, we released a 2030 strategy a couple years ago. And those are captured in three key areas: in health, which is certainly central to what we do, in sustainability, climate change, agriculture. And then the one I'm going to talk about today is the life science ecosystem, where NNF is contributing to research infrastructure and technologies to advance scientific discovery. What's also important is that if you engage with NNF, even if you go back 5-6 years ago, it was very Danish, or at least you would say Scandinavian focused. And over the last few years, that has expanded greatly, and the US has been front and center in that increased engagement. We've used different models, what we call hub and spoke, strategic partnerships. So just a sense that NNF wants to contribute, wants to build partnerships with key partners around the world. So this conference is obviously about quantum computing, AI, and starting in 2022, NNF announced a $200 million national quantum computing program. It's housed at the Niels Bohr Institute, and its goal is over 12 years to develop a fault-tolerant quantum computer focused on solving life sciences problems. But an important component, and I think what is most interest to this group, and my colleague Lena talked about it this morning if you were at the international session, is that when we were setting it up, there was a recognition that there's some technologies that don't fit well within the university structure, whether it be trade secrets, maybe some things that you don't want to get out in the public. So NNF helped to set up a separate equivalent of an LLC called the Copenhagen Quantum Foundry. And the focus of the foundry is to allow NQCP to work with different types of partners, whether it's in academia or also with the private sector, and work on some of these challenges while doing so in a manner that allows a more closely guarded partnership. So it's a very unique and interesting model that we developed. It's up and running. Certainly, it's led by a professor named Peter Krogstrup. It's certainly open to discussions with partners if that's of interest. Of course, there's lots of aspects of quantum, whether computing is one aspect of it, sensing, workforce development. NNF has also funded a new quantum sensing center. Also, again, mentioned this morning, we developed a new fellowship program with the Cleveland Clinic, which will involve sending 12 academics between Denmark and Cleveland. So it's a chance for NNF to send leading scientists to how do you look at a quantum problem with a quantum system that's based at the Cleveland Clinic. That's a partnership with IBM. And there's a few other centers, and this is, I think, a great visual that captures that the Danish ecosystem has really grown over the last year, or last years. So even, I'm losing it in, you can see the NQCP is there, you can see some of the private sector companies, both ones that are more mature and some newer, smaller ones. We have a Quantum for Life Center, also funded by NNF, focused on quantum algorithms. So it really is an ecosystem that I think Niels Bohr would be proud of, and one that has grown greatly. I'll also note, and I think it was mentioned before, NATO stood up a number of what they call Diana centers, and hosted in Copenhagen is the one that's focused on quantum, called the Deep Tech Lab Quantum. They had their first cohort last year, and they're starting the second one soon. And with that, I'm actually going to cede a little bit of my time. She got added late, but I want to introduce the new CEO of the Danish Center for AI Innovation, Nadia Carlson.
Thank you all. Great to be here, and I'll just take a few minutes to introduce DCAI, which is the Danish Center for AI Innovation. And we are basically the latest NNF really big idea, which is to bring AI compute power to researchers in Denmark and help them with this power, computing power, accelerate their research. So it is a partnership with NVIDIA. It's a large AI supercomputer based on NVIDIA technology, and I would be happy to give you more specs at a later date. But the idea is it's very large. It can do things that are very unprecedented, both in Denmark. This type of compute capability did not exist in Denmark, but even by Scandinavian and European standards, it's very big, it's very powerful. So we really expect a huge impact on research. So that's one thing that's really amazing. The other thing is, so the supercomputer is named Gifion. The Danish Center for AI Innovation is the company that owns and runs Gifion, the computer. And that structure really allows us to work with different types of customers, both academics that are doing research on AI, but also large companies and startups that are doing research in AI-related fields. And we really think that's going to be the key to engaging with and leveraging this great ecosystem that Brett was just talking about. You may be thinking, why am I here at a quantum company talking about AI? And thankfully, Nick already laid the groundwork for why quantum AI goes so well together. We really believe that quantum computing is one of those areas that can benefit from AI and vice versa. And quantum is one of the 4 themes that were already identified as critical for this company and for this supercomputer. The other ones are healthcare and life sciences and the green transition. But with quantum, we think, especially being located in Denmark and having being part of this ecosystem and having relationships with NQCP and other NNF-funded initiatives, it's really going to be a great strategy to bring both quantum and AI to a lot of people doing these applications. Contact me if you have any questions. We're still in the process of getting launched and getting started. We're expecting to start taking pilot customers from the end of this year. So we're still figuring out a lot of things, but we'd love to talk to you, especially if you have use cases that you think would be interesting to run on Keep On. Thank you.